Hi there and welcome, it's Omar. Today I'll show you how to create these embroidered Valentine's cards and also the way to get the perfect inlaying of the letters on the front panel. I will also show you how to embellish the card, and I will also show you how to use your scrap pieces to create this simple but professional looking Valentine's card. So let's get started. First, upload your file to Design Space. So click on Upload, Upload Image, click on Browse and go to the folder where your file is stored. Select your file and click on Open. Once it loads, you can change the name of your file and add tags if you want to. Then click on Save. Once your file is loaded, click on the file that you want to use and then click on Insert Images. The file that you get has several images, several layers. Let's ungroup it so you can see what the layers are. The first two layers are the birds. These are colored white. For some reason, Design Space does not fill the images when they are open paths. Don't worry about it, they are still gonna be put on the white mat. You can still change the color of the birds and also do a color sync if you want to cut them on the same color of some of the pieces of the card. Next you have the front panel. This is the hot pink layer that you see here. It has the outside for the inlaid letters, and also there's a support layer that you see here in dark gray right there. It has all the holes for the embroidery and matches exactly the front panel and also the inlaid letters. This is just a support base so you can do the inlaying correctly. I used Nina Solar White cardstock and a 60-pound version for that support layer. You don't have to use any fancy cardstock. And I also added a mat. This is a 5x5 inch mat. I just think the card looks better with a white mat around the hot pink color. And in case you're doing the card on a dark card base, it's a good idea to have the mat. You can choose whether to cut it or not. Finally, there's the heart and the letters that will be inlaid on the card. Click on Make It, and here you see the support layer in gray. Here are the birds sorted in the white mat. Here's your extra matted piece in case you are doing a dark card base. Here's your purple heart with the holes for the embroidery. Here's your front panel in hot pink. And finally, your inlaid pieces. Next, click on Continue and cut all your pieces and start assembling your card. Check that all the pieces have all the holes cut on them, and use your tweezers to remove any pieces of cardstock that might have not come off. Most of them stay on your cutting mat, but in case some of them have not come off, just take them out with your tweezers. Now, if you want to do some inking, I tried inking one of the hearts in the English version of the card, and I did not ink the heart on the Spanish version. But in case you want to do that, I used Wilted Violet Distress ink on a mini ink blending tool and just inked the edges. Next, start assembling your front panel. For that, take your liquid glue. I think it's better to use liquid glue for this. This is Aleene's Tacky Glue Pen, my favorite glue pen for this. Remember to put glue around the embroidering holes. Do not put any glue on the holes themselves. And also remember to put glue on those small corners and around the edges. Next, match the holes on the front panel and the support panel and align them correctly. Do not press on the center pieces. You see me doing it not very good there. Lift them up if you have press on them, but to glue them correctly, it's better if you put your letters in and then press on the pieces that you want to glue. The center pieces of the E and that pointy shape on the V. Next, take your letters and do the same as with your front panel. Put glue around all the embroidery holes that your machine cut. Remember not to put any glue on top of the holes, just go around and make sure you get that glue on all the edges and all the pointy pieces. Here you see that I still have some of the holes that were cut that I did not remove. So sometimes you'll see me removing them from the center of the card or from the glue. You don't want any of those holes inside your inlaid piece. Keep applying glue and do your last letter. Do not put too much glue on the edges because it might ooze out. In that case, it's a good idea to use a matte finish glue. Inlaying sticky glue, it has a very matte finish, so it's okay if some of it oozes out of your inlaid piece. Next, glue your heart, and now you will see that the inlaid pieces are kind of sticking out of your front panel. So use this trick to flatten them out. Take your A plate, your B plate, an embossing mat, then take your cutout and place it looking down on your embossing mat. Then put your B plate on top, run it through your embossing machine, turn it over, looking up, put your B plate on top again, and run it through your embossing machine. And here you'll see the magic happen. All your inlaid pieces are flat against the front panel. It's like you bought the cardstock like this. And it's a great look. Now the thread that I used is a very inexpensive thread that I got from Amazon. The link will be on the description below. And I used tapestry needles. I think these are better for sewing on paper because they are pointy. I used the size 22, I think it is, for this. Thread your needle. Do not put any knots on the end. Just leave it like that and start from the bottommost hole of your letters. Let's do the L this time. Thread your needle through. Push on the thread, leaving a tail, and take a piece of masking tape and secure that tail against the back of the card. Do not cover any of the holes of the other letters. Now keep sewing, go to the hole on the side, then go back to the center, then go up to the other side and back to the center again. Now go up to the center hole and go back down to the center hole, then go up and to the side, down to the center, up to the other side, and down to the center, and up to the center, and back to the center. And keep going like that until you reach the topmost hole. Remember to stop at the big hole on the top. There is a smaller hole on top of that one. On that hole you will have to do a French knot. And here's how you do it. You poke through with your needle and loop around your thread. Go back on the same hole and pull your thread to create that perfect French knot. I will show you a close-up of how you do this later, so don't worry about it. On the back of the card, cut your excess thread and put another piece of masking tape. You can use washi tape, masking tape, whatever you want. Now for the frame around the heart, do the same. Do not put any knots on the thread. Start from the end hole of each row. Put a piece of washi tape to secure the thread, and start going up and down on the holes without skipping anyone. Do this until you reach the end of the holes. Finally, go to the back, cut any excess thread, and secure the tail of your thread with a piece of masking tape or washi tape. Do the next two letters. Start from the bottommost hole and work your way up, securing the tail of your thread. Now go up to the side, back to the center hole. Now go up to the other side and back to the center. Up to the center hole on top and back to the center hole. Keep going like that until you finish, and do a French knot on the topmost hole. Cut your excess thread and secure the tail on the back of the card. Do the same for the E. And do a French knot on that small hole on top. That hole is smaller, so the knot does not go to the back when you pull your thread. Do not pull too hard though. Cut your excess thread and secure the last of the threads. Now to sew the frame around the card, there is a small hole in the corner and a big hole right next to it. Start with that one. Secure your thread on the back with a piece of washi tape and start sewing on that row. Go up and down just like you did with the frame on the heart. Keep going like that until you reach the last hole on that row, the last of the big holes on that row. And once you get to the corner, you'll see a small hole. Here's where you do your French knot. Now here is how you do a French knot. You pull on the thread, you loop around, go back on the same hole, holding that thread and pulling so it doesn't get tangled. Now here just thread the needle on the wrong side, so just pass it through and then pull to get that perfect French knot. If it's too hard to do for you, You can do, you can use beads, seed beads, or you can even use sequins if you want to. Now start sewing on the next row. I'll show you a close-up of that French knot again if you want to. Once you reach the last of those big holes, poke on that small hole in the corner with your pointing needle. That's why you need a pointing needle for this. And do a French knot. Here you see a close-up. Pull on the thread that you have there, loop around that thread, go back on the same hole, pulling on that thread, and pull your thread to the back. And there you go. A French knot. Now keep sewing on that side and do the last of the French knots on the fourth corner. Using your pointing needle, poke that hole, pull on the thread, loop around, go back in on the same hole. Keep pulling on that thread. And next, pull your thread to the back. And there you have it, the last of the French knots. Your card is all sewn, so cut the excess thread, secure the tail with a piece of washi tape. And now for the card base, I used a 5x10 piece of Nina Solo White 110-pound cardstock that I scored at 5 inches to get a 5x5 side folding note card. Score at 5 inches, fold in half, and next you will attach your embroidered panel to your note card. So used some foam tape. You can put foam tape on all the embroidery except on those bulky ones on the letters. So you can cover the frame around the card, you can cover the frame around the heart, but avoid putting foam tape on top of that bulky embroidery on the letters. So just keep cutting pieces of foam tape and put it here and there so you get enough support for that front panel. If you want to mail it, I would use a padded envelope. Just in case, but I still like to put a lot of foam tape. Remove the release backing on that foam tape. Center on the front of that note card. Press against, turn it around, and press it also so it sticks correctly. Now embellish the card using the birds. Just cut small pieces of foam tape and place the flying bird on top of the purple heart. I think it looks very good against that dark background. I had never embroidered before and I managed to make this card, so if this is your first time embroidering, give this card a try. Put your birds in place and embellish your card using hearts and glitter and sequins. These are iridescent hearts from Martha Stewart. Glue them using a strong glue like this multimedia mat from Ranger. And here are some sequins. Now for the Spanish version of the card, the gluing of the front panel is a little different. because you have the center of the A and the center for the R. Put glue around the front panel, avoid the embroidery holes. Match all the holes on your front panel and also on the support panel. Put your letters in, so you glue those pointy pieces of the M and the center of the A correctly. Next, glue your letters, and then add the center of the R and the center of the A. Remember to always put glue around the holes for the embroidery, and go and remember to put glue on every corner. Glue the M and the heart. Here you see the edges sticking up, so do your embossing machine trick, looking down on your embossing mat, then looking up and your B plate on top. Here's the sandwich I used, and here you see perfect inlaying of the pieces. Start embroidering. Start with the bottommost hole of each letter. Secure the tail. Start embroidering up. Do a French knot on the topmost hole. Remember not to pull too hard. And keep doing that on the letters, the heart, and the frame around the card. Add some foam tape to the back. Remember to avoid the bulky stitching. Center your front panel on the card base. Press it good. And there you go. Here's the Spanish version of the card. Embellish the card using sequins and glitter hearts from Martha Stewart. And you're done. Now you can also use your scrap pieces to create another card. These are the letters that were cut from the front panel. So they're hot pink letters. Just align them on a top folding note card. This is Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock that I cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding note card. Glue your letters using some adhesive. Remember to remove the adhesive from the edges. If you got some adhesive still on the edge, just use your Xyron eraser to remove any of the adhesive. And here's a trick you can do to make it look more professional. Place your card facing down on your embossing mat. Remember, here's an A plate, a B plate, an embossing mat, your card looking down, and finally a B plate on top. Remember to put the fold of the note card on the edge of the B plate on top so you don't get scoring marks. Turn the card over. Remember to align the folding edge to the B plate on top so you don't get embossing marks on the rest of the card. Run it through your embossing machine, and there you have it. It's very flat, and you get a nice debossed look on the back of the card. These are very simple and easy to make cards that you can use to you know, don't throw away your scrap pieces. Here are the 4 cards that we created today. I used this sentiment from a Paper Smooches stamp set that reads "I love you so much." I think it's great for the card. They also have other images related to sewing with hearts and stuff that you can still use on the Spanish version of the cards. Remember, you can download this project for free at www.awesomesvgs.com. All the products I used are linked on the video description below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell next to the subscribe word so you get notifications whenever a video goes live. Here are a couple more videos you could be interested in. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye bye.